Hello friends, today is Tuesday, June 16th, and I'm going to do a really quick story time today because you are coming soon to get your books and things from Miss Kara. So I'm going to read you a book that I love, and it's called The Relatives Came by Cynthia Rylant, illustrated by Stephen Gammell. And I love this author lives in Oregon. And I want to let you know, oh look, it's a Caldecott Honor book. And I wanted to let you know I love this book because it reminds me of my big crazy family. The author does, yep. Ooh. Here's Miriam with me. All right. It was in the summer of the year when the relatives came. They came up from Virginia. They left when their grapes were nearly purple enough to pick, but not quite. They had an old station wagon that smelled like a real car, and in it they put an ice chest full of soda pop and some boxes of crackers and some bologna sandwiches, and up they came from Virginia. They left at 4 in the morning when it was still dark, before even the birds were awake. They drove all day long and into the night, and while they traveled along, they looked at the strange houses and different mountains, and they thought about their almost purple grapes back home. They thought about Virginia, but they thought about us too, waiting for them.
Bye, Mama.
Bye, sweetie. Have fun.
Okay.
So they drank up all their pop and ate up all their crackers and traveled up all those miles until finally they pulled into our yard. Then it was hugging time. Talk about hugging. Those relatives just passed us all around their car, pulling us against their wrinkled Virginia clothes, crying sometimes. They hugged us for hours. When you see your family that you haven't seen for a long time, do they hug you a lot? Then it was into the house, and so much laughing and shining faces and hugging in the doorways. You'd have to go through at least 4 different hugs to get from the kitchen to the front room. Those relatives. And finally, after a big supper, 2 or 3 times around until we all got a turn at the table, there was a quiet talk, and we were in 2s and 3s through the house. The relatives weren't particular about beds, which was good since there weren't any extras, so a few squeezed in with us and the rest slept on the floor, some with their arms thrown over the closest person, or some with an arm across one person and a leg across another. It was different going to sleep with all that new breathing in the house. The relatives stayed for weeks and weeks. They helped us tend the garden, and they fixed any broken things they could find. Look at all of the things. What kinds of things are happening in that picture? They ate up all our strawberries and melons, then promised we could eat up all their grapes and peaches when we came to Virginia. But none of us thought about Virginia much. We were so busy hugging and eating and breathing together. Finally, after a long time, the relatives loaded up their ice chest and headed back to Virginia at 4 in the morning. We stood there in our pajamas and waved them off in the dark. We watched the relatives disappear down the road. Then we crawled back into our beds that felt too big and too quiet. We fell asleep. And the relatives drove on all day long and into the night, and while they traveled along, they looked at the strange houses in different mountains, and they thought about their dark purple grapes waiting at home in Virginia. But they thought about us too, missing them, and they missed us. And when they were finally home in Virginia, they crawled into their silent, soft beds and dreamed about the next summer. Yummy. I have a question for you. In this coronavirus season, a lot of us have not seen a lot of our family members for a while. Who is someone that you miss? Who is someone that you haven't seen for a long time and you really miss them? Can you leave a message telling me who you miss right now and why do you miss them? I miss my oldest sister who lives in Virginia, where this book takes place, or actually where the relatives came from. I miss my sister Kim from Virginia. And I miss my best friend, Jenny Pine, who lives in Washington, D.C. And I don't know if she'll get to come this summer. And I usually spend every part of every summer with her. Who do you miss? I'd love to hear who you miss and why. Okay, I'll do my song in just a second. Hey friends, now I saw most of you pick up the books tonight and I'm going to sing a cheesy dramatic song for you. We only have a few story times left, so we got to end it strong, right? So I'm going to sing Show Yourself from Frozen 2. It's such a dramatic song. You can sing along. Every inch of me is trembling, but not from the cold. Something is familiar, like a dream I can reach but not quite hold. I can sense you there, like a friend I've always known. I'm arriving, and it feels like I am home. I have always been a fortress, cold secrets deep inside. You have secrets too, but you don't have to hide. Show yourself, I'm dying to meet you. Show yourself, it's your turn. Are you the one I've been looking for all of my life? Show yourself, I'm ready to run. I've never felt so certain. All my life I've been torn, but I'm here for a reason. Could it be the reason I was born? I have always been so different. Normal rules did not apply. Is this the day? Are you the way? I finally found out why. Show yourself, I'm no longer trembling. Here I am, I've come so far. You are the answer I've waited for all of my life. Oh, show yourself, let me see who you are. Come to me now, open your door. Don't make me wait one moment more. Come to me now, open your door. Don't make me wait one moment more. Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a river full of memories. Come, my darling, homeward bound. I am found. Show yourself, step into your power. Grow yourself into something new. You are the one you've been waiting for all of my life. Oh, show yourself. You are. Sorry that was so dramatic, but Miss Kara likes being dramatic and singing songs a lot. Oh no, but that's a good song too. Do you know that song from The Lion King? Friends, I love you so much. Thanks for coming and pick up your books. If you didn't get your books from Miss Kara, can you coordinate a time to exchange them with me? Because I would love to make sure all of your kiddos get their books. I'm going to give you hugs tonight and kisses. Have a great night.